Okay, so definitely doing much better with picking control, doing down on the down, up on the up. Certainly looking a lot better. So, before getting into the new stuff here, just having, let's see, having the right mindset, the right perspective on these things, very important. So, what I gave you last time is not something I would call easy. Like, especially the coil stuff. Those are things that most people aren't going to be getting very fast anytime soon anyway. Those were given to you to really focus on making sure that just going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So it was a certain level of difficulty where a lot of picking movements happening, and just wanted to see. I wanted to see, can you pull it off? There's a lot of trial and error with these kinds of things. There is no true set structure on what's going to work for every single person. So a lot of this is trial and error. You figure out, like, basically I give you something, see how you perform with it, and then how you perform with it tells me what I need to do next. So, like, you talk about, you feel like there's like a missing piece of the puzzle. We'll put it this way: there is no missing piece. There is no missing piece. There's no one little thing that's going to happen and then suddenly you can just do all the stuff that you want to do. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't exist. So, unless you kind of said it, not being strict enough on yourself. If anything, that would be the missing puzzle piece, but that would be it. It's just only perfect practice makes perfect. I think for number one from last time, you said you can get to 240, kind of get to 240, but it's a mess. Then you did not get to 240. Either it's 100% dead on accurate, or it's 100% garbage. That's how you have to look at it. Either you 100% nailed it, or it's a throwaway take. And remember, anytime you notice that something is off while you're playing, you have to stop immediately when that mistake is made and try and address it the best you can. So if you get to one bar where a mistake seems to happen and you feel like the synchronization is slightly off, well, stay in that one bar. Loop that bar. So I went back and reread your initial email when you filled out the stuff for the video correspondence, and you did mention that you tend to rely on Guitar Pro loops and you don't really do metronome stuff. So I wanted you to use Guitar Pro with some of the rhythms for the strumming stuff because just using the metronome wasn't working. And figured, well, okay, that's not working. So let's try Guitar Pro. Let's do this. You put the drums in and whatnot, so this way you hear exactly how it's supposed to go. Maybe that can help. And I'm fine with doing that stuff every now and then if that's what's needed to get the job done. That being said, if you can do it without Guitar Pro, do it without Guitar Pro. So let's make that a point. Let's say no Guitar Pro, don't play along with it until we get to a point where maybe the rhythm is just not clicking, you're not hearing it anymore, then we'll bring it back in. So another thing you can do, and probably should start doing, when you reach a speed where it feels like things are getting, like synchronization maybe is starting to get off, drop the speed down 10, maybe 20 beats per minute. So drop it down 10 first, see if it feels like the synchronization is solid once again. If it's not solid once again, maybe drop it another 10. See if the synchronization feels solid once more there. If it does, whether it's you went down 10 and 20 or whatever, start going up in ones at that point. So you're really, really going to be easing up really slow to make sure everything stays dead on accurate the whole way. So let's say you get like this one up here, or number one here, up to 180. Whoops, I need to mute that phone, sorry. So yeah, let's say you get up to 180 with that, and you're like, man, synchronization's starting to get kind of funny. Drop it down to 170. See if it feels solid again. So if it does, great. Start going up in ones at that point. Still following the time limit thing, because we don't want to be spending a ridiculous amount of time trying to just go up a little bit. Because a lot of this is, it takes time. It takes time for sure. And everybody has a different amount of time they're going to need to work on stuff. Some people, it clicks really fast. They get it right away. Other people, they got to put in a lot more work. But being very diligent, being very disciplined, and yes, strict, not allowing any slop. Because if you want to play accurate, and it always sounds better to play accurately at a slow speed versus sloppy at a fast speed. So, the other thing is, you mentioned how you like overthink things and not know what to do, or where to go, when to go on. Just follow the plan I'm giving you. Just continue to go with what I give you. So the idea is we're working on gaining as much control over that instrument as possible. You're getting all these different things gradually going up in difficulty. Now, granted, we did have some fairly difficult stuff when we started doing the single note picking stuff. And I started you off with things much more difficult than I give most people. So that's another thing I want you to keep in mind. You're receiving stuff that's far more challenging than most people get when we get to this stage. That's because you can move the pick and the fingers together in sync. And the more we do things like this, the better it's going to get, especially when you make sure you stay disciplined and you don't allow anything other than 100% fantastic, okay? So you are working on things that are more challenging at this level. Like, so when we get to the 8th note, single note picking, you're working on stuff more challenging than most people, so keep that in mind. And I gave you this stuff, or this kind of level of difficulty, because of how you demonstrated things in the initial video, that the skill evaluation thing, showing you what you can do. And I think this is going fine. So you can always do like little supplemental things, outside of this if you wanted to. But, it does take time. Perfect practice is going to make it happen. And trying to think if there's anything else I can add here. Maybe not. But yeah, the main focus right now is getting as much control as we can. And like number one here, we're already jumping into again, more challenging stuff, because usually I don't give people, 4 different rhythms in a row like that. I usually just stick with the one and just have that be done several times. The notes will change or whatnot. But I feel you're doing all right. You're making, faster than normal progress when it comes to this kind of material. So keep that in mind too. I know you're not, may not be exactly where you want to be right now, and maybe it feels like sometimes you're not going to get there when you want, but here's the thing. None of us get there when we want to. I don't reach goals when I want them to be reached. Sometimes I might, but a lot of times I don't, and of course it's frustrating, but that's just the way it is. That's just how it goes. So you're making good progress. Just, like you said, strict discipline, keep that up. Remember, if there is any missing puzzle piece, it's the perfect practice makes perfect. That's it. There's no little thing that's going to suddenly happen and then all this magic starts happening. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work like that. At least it never did for me, and I have not seen it happen. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get into playing this stuff. So you got 4 different rhythms here, and so we're being more rhythmic once again, and because I'm a big believer that the more variations that you're able to play, your ear can hear things a lot better, and you can handle the more complicated stuff more easily. Even when you want to play the simple stuff just really fast, then your ear is better trained for that. Because I used to give people just speed-based things right away, and an issue they continue to have was they get to a certain level or a certain speed, and they couldn't tell if they're playing things correctly anymore or not, and that's a huge issue. If you can't tell if it's right or wrong, that's a problem. So, yeah, I'm really big on getting all this rhythm stuff down, because if your rhythm sucks, everything suffers. So, and we're still, you're learning the principles of pushing things, getting faster and all that. But anyway, let's go. Here we go. Enough talking. Let's get to playing. So, yes, every bar is different for the first 4 bars, and then the same rhythmic pattern is repeated once more. So basically we're going up, those group of notes there, and then we do it an octave higher. We're going to shift the hand over and go down this group of notes, and then do it again an octave lower. So good ideas. Just start with getting that pattern down. And then apply the rhythm. And you can always work on it, 1/2 at a time. So maybe work on the ascending part by itself to start, the descending part on its own as well. And then when you're feeling good with those separated, then put them both together. And yeah, so remember, next week is the week I am out. I won't be in town. So got 2 weeks to get these things going here, okay? 2 weeks. All right, here we go. Turn that down a little bit. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1. Oh my God. That's a lovely start. 1. See, I still screw up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. Actually, that reminds me of something. Now, as far as picking on technique, picking apart technique. I don't like to put too much thought into how things move and look at slower speeds, because usually it gets kind of smoothed out as things go faster. But I do notice when you are playing slower, kind of fairly jerky motions. Maybe not that wide, but instead of being like a smooth kind of thing. And I think that maybe that's one reason why sometimes you do like 2 downstrokes or 2 upstrokes in a row on accident. Because you kind of do it like almost like tiny, instead of like smooth motions, they're kind of jerky. And that might be a problem sometimes. But it does seem to smooth out as you go faster, which is good. So maybe when you're playing it slower, try and think about just nice, smooth motions. And not pick hard at all. So maybe pick real soft. Just nice, smooth at those slower speeds. And see if that helps you feel better with things too. All right, 120. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2. Yeah, I was right. Good notes. I am goofing up today. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 2. Just notice that note is not right. There, that's what it's supposed to be. All right, 180. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And 240. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And remember, it's not bad if you don't reach 240. It's totally fine. We're building control. Building control. All right, so here we're getting syncopation stuff once again. So every bar here is different, and then we play the same rhythmic pattern down here, just notated a little different. So up here we got the tied eighth notes to better show where all the downbeats and upbeats are. And down here, we use the quarter notes as much as we can to not use the tied notes. But it's the same thing mathematically. So with this one, going up like 5 notes at a time. Then we shift our hand over for the descending portion and go down 5 notes at a time. So it's another one, breaking it into pieces. Really good idea. So working on the ascending part by itself is good. Descending by itself is also good. So again, got 2 weeks to work on it. Take your time with it. And here we go, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 4, 1, and 3, 4, 1. 3 and 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 4, 1 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 2, 3, 4 and 120, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 and 4. One 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Two 40. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. All right. So hope all that was long talking. All the long talks there were helpful. So yeah, the right mindset with it. Remember, you are working on things that are much more difficult, more advanced than what I give most students at this stage of the game. Strict practice. Only perfect practice makes perfect. So if it's not 100% correct, then it's 100% wrong. As soon as a mistake is made, address it immediately. And yeah, only accept perfection. Perfection. So if that means you're not going really fast, that's okay. Because getting it perfect at the slower speeds will help you play it perfectly at faster speeds eventually. So yeah, I think that covers it. All right, I'm done talking. Any questions, let me know, and I will see you again in 2 weeks.